My final Power 10 rankings for the 2021 regular season of college volleyball. Selections are next week, Sunday the 28th. I am Michella Chester with NCAA Digital. Thanks for following along with these all season. Louisville and Texas remain on top of my Power 10. The Cards are the very last undefeated team in the nation. Gear up for an incredible rematch with Pittsburgh this week, right before selections. The matchup will have big implications on the tournament bracket, especially for Pitt. If Louisville were to lose, it would still just be their first loss of the season, and the committee would then have to compare Texas's one loss and Louisville's one loss. Now, I have Wisconsin at number 3 ahead of Pitt, and you might have a guess as to why. They came back ferociously to take down a crazy good Minnesota team in 5 sets on Sunday. They rallied back from a 17-10 deficit in the 4th set, and then still had to fight off multiple Minnesota match points before winning the 4th and forcing a 5th. The resilience and execution they showed at crunch time against a team that I consider to be one of the strongest in the NCAA was really impressive. There's absolutely no reason to adjust Pitt, especially after they secured a big win over Georgia Tech. And the Panthers still have Louisville this week, and Wisconsin has Nebraska. So this will of course be reevaluated in just a few days' time, but I wanted to reward the Badgers for a win in a well-fought battle this week. BYU stays put at number 5 as the Cougars move to 27-1 on the season. They still do not have the same caliber of wins as most of the teams in these rankings, but it's hard to figure out where to move a team that you know has the potential, but doesn't have the same strength of schedule. They've had success in the past as well, and really great players, and 2 good wins this season, so they stay here. The Bears also stay at number 6 for the same reasoning as last week. They've got that win over Texas, in case you forgot. Then at number 7, this may seem odd or silly, but I flip-flopped UCLA and Purdue. And quite frankly, I technically should have done this last week. Purdue took down Wisconsin and Minnesota in 1 week's time, but I was hesitant because of how many losses Purdue has. But after watching the matchup between Wisconsin and Minnesota on Sunday, it made me want to give Purdue more credit for beating both of those teams in the same week. So then you've got UCLA at number 8. They are 22-4 on the season and just notched 2 more sweeps over Arizona and Arizona State over the weekend. Kentucky stays at number 9 this week following 2 wins over Auburn this past weekend, but they do have Florida, a rivalry matchup in the SEC to close out the season. And then lastly, Minnesota stays in with the tight loss to Wisconsin. And what a match that was. They almost had them in the 4th, leading by as much as 7 before dropping in a 5-set thriller. But what a high level of volleyball we saw. The biggest question mark this season for me was if Minnesota's tough schedule was going to pay off. I think it does. So those are my final Power 10 rankings. Sadly, I will not get the chance to re-rank after the great matchups coming up this week, including that final Louisville versus Pittsburgh matchup, Nebraska-Wisconsin, Nebraska-Purdue, etc. Instead, we will see the committee's rankings, the only ones that will matter as they reveal the 2021 D1 Women's Volleyball Tournament bracket.